Maybe you're brand new to spreadsheets or you just want to start tracking your finances better. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how to set up a super simple budget tracking spreadsheet where we'll learn some basic formulas and help you get on top of your finances. Let's jump in. You'll need a blank spreadsheet to start. So let's go to sheets.new and here's our blank spreadsheet. So let's start just by putting a title in here. And whilst we're here, I'm going to go up and name the file as well, just so I don't lose it in my Google Drive. Let's go down to row 3, so cell A3, and type income. And underneath that, let's do item. And in B4, let's put amount. Let's go across to column D and put spending, or you could say expenses, and then item and amount again. And in column G, we're going to put totals. And underneath totals, I'm going to put income, spending, and then remaining. Now, don't worry about what this looks like yet because we're going to format it at the end. All I need to do now is imagine that I was putting items in. So underneath item, I might put salary 1, and then amount could be 1,000, salary 2, amount could be 3,000, and maybe side hustle or some other income. Let's put 200. And for spending, under item, you can do as many or as few as you want. So you might decide to put all of your subscriptions in one, or you might separate them out into, say, Netflix, for example. And I could have Spotify, maybe rent, electricity, maybe cell phone, and so on. Just do as many as you want or you need. It's designed to be super simple. Then what we need to do to check our spending is see how much money we have left after all of our spending has been taken away from our income. This is going to help us understand maybe what we need to cut out in future months. So next to income over here, this is where we're going to use our first formula. In cell H4, we're going to type equals. Every formula in a spreadsheet, whether you're using Excel or Google Sheets, always starts with equals. And we're going to type the word sum. Now in Google Sheets, it will show you all of the different formulas that have this word in there. I'm going to click on sum, and I'm going to click on cell B5 and drag down to B15 and then just press enter on my keyboard. Now, Google Sheets is clever and it's suggesting what my next formulas might be, but I'm going to ignore this for now because we're learning how to do some simple formulas. So I'm going to press the X on the suggestion. And for spending, we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to type equals and then sum. Now be careful because it's suggesting something here which isn't right. So I want to click on the sum, the second one down. And I'm going to click on cell E5 and drag all the way down to E35, like this, just in case you have a lot of things that you're spending money on. And again, press enter. Now, the last thing we need to do then for formulas is to take the income and then take away the spending. So I'm going to put equals and then click on cell H4, that's my income, and put minus, and then click on cell H5, which is my spending. So the remaining money I have left over here is 3,570. Now, what we're going to do is take a moment to format this whole thing. I'm just going to close this side panel here about tables. Going to highlight from cell A1 all the way to cell I. And I'm going to choose to merge those cells, and I'm going to make the background color here black and change the text color to white. Make the text a bit bigger, make it bold, and I also want to center it like this. Now I'm going to make this whole row a little bit bigger to give the title some space. So I'm going to click between row 1 and 2 and just drag down slightly. And you see at the moment the text is at the bottom of the cell. So to change that, I'm going to click on the vertical align option in the menu and choose middle. You see now the text stays in the middle like this. I'm going to do a similar thing here for income. I'm going to click and drag across cell A3 and B3, choose merge cells like this, and choose a background color of green because it's our income. Again, make the text color white and make it bold, maybe make it 1 bigger, and I want to center it again. And again, if I make this row just slightly bigger, I want to make sure the text sits in the middle. So go to vertical align and choose middle. Now, to save me some time, I'm going to copy this. So I'm pressing Control and C on my keyboard. Going to click in cell D3 here and press Control or Command and V on my keyboard. And now I have the same formatting. I can quickly just change the word income back to spending. And because it's spending, let's make the background color red. And then we need to do the same for totals over here. So I'm going to press Control or Command and V again here. Double click to change the word to totals. And let's make the background color of this one maybe a gray, like so. Now, the other thing I want to do is make it really clear how many things you can have in each of these sections. So for income, I'm going to click and drag down to row 15 like this. And we're going to add borders to this section. So I click on the borders icon on the menu bar, and I'm going to choose outer borders here and do the same for spending. For this one, I'm going to go down to row 35 like this, go to borders, outer borders, and then totals. Click and drag to highlight all the totals section, go to borders and outer borders like this. Now, I like having a bit of space in the spreadsheet. I don't like it when there's loads of cells and things all left over everywhere. So I'm going to do two more things here. I'm going to right click on column A, and I'm going to choose Insert One Column Left. And I'm going to click on the green cell here and change the color to reset it like this so there isn't a color there. Now, I'm going to click on column K over at the right here, and I'm going to hold down Shift on my keyboard. And when I do that, if I use the scroll wheel, it lets me scroll sideways like this. It will save you clicking and dragging to drag the scroll bar down here. So I clicked column K, hold Shift, use the scroll wheel on my mouse. I'm still holding Shift. I click column AA, and then right click and choose Delete Columns. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but for the rows. So I'm going to scroll down to row 37 here, click on row 37, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the sheet, hold down Shift, click on row 1000, right click, and delete rows. Now, I just think there's a little bit too much space in these columns here. So I'm going to click on column A, I'm going to hold Control or Command on my keyboard, and click on column D. Keeping Control or Command held down, I'm going to click on column G, and then again on column J. And now if I just resize column J, I'm going to make it about this big. It's going to resize all four of those columns to that size. Okay, one last thing we're going to do that is quite smart. I'm going to bold these titles first to make this a bit clearer. And I'm going to bold remaining and the amount here. By the way, to bold, rather than click on the B on the menu bar, I'm just pressing Control or Command B on a Mac to make it bold. But I want this to really stand out. So we're going to go to Format, and then Conditional Formatting. And we're going to use this rule here. It says Format Cells If. We're going to say less than or equal to, and change the value to 0. And I'm going to click here where it says Default, and change this to the red color, and press Done. Now I'm going to add another rule, and choose Format Cells If. Again, scroll down and say this time greater than or equal to 1. So what we're saying is if the number is 1 or more, it's green. And if it's 0 or less, then it's red. That means we'll easily be able to see whether we're overspending or have money left over at the end of each month. So just to show you, if I add a much bigger spend in here, when that number changes over here, all these sums update, and you see now it's showing as red. By the way, if you want to download the completed version, there's a link in the description. And let me know in the comments if you'd also be interested in seeing how I made this more advanced version of the tracker as well. I'll see you in the next one.